Mike, I got to see some of the game, but I read more about it in your column this week, in your game story.
In which case you caught the essence, I'm sure.
I really think I did. I see a progression. This team keeps getting better. This could have been a trap game this week, sandwiched between Michigan and the big Ohio State matchup at home.
Honestly, I think to some extent it was a trap game. And you go out there and it's gray and cold and there's 30,000 people in the stands. It's not a Big Ten atmosphere at all. Some of the players mentioned that. In fact, I wrote about that in my column. Kind of tough to get the motor running, in addition to the fact that it was kind of a weird motivational situation for Penn State. They were down a field goal at halftime. It was tied going into the fourth quarter. They made a lot of big offensive plays in the fourth quarter. It helped them a lot that Northwestern's quarterback, Mike Kafka, got hurt because he can really play, and he caused a lot of problems for Penn State. But they did make plays at the end that they had to make it turn into not only a win, but a comfortable win.
What impressed you the most with the win against Northwestern?
I think Darryl Clark would be the single thing. I think if they give him time to throw, he can make big plays, great throws in the passing game, throws the deep ball really, really well and is getting better and better at that. The decision-making is getting better. They're just they're a hard team to deal with in the passing game right now. And that would be the number one thing. But, just the fact that they hung in there and didn't panic and kept plugging and found a way.
Now, I'm going to tie this question in with Ohio State as we look ahead. The defense really made some great adjustments with Northwestern. Tell me what this defense has to do to shut down Terrell Pryor, and then also I want to follow it up with what's it going to take for Penn State to beat the Buckeyes at home at Beaver Stadium this Saturday?
Well, I think what they're going to do is I think they're going to be very, very conscious of containing Pryor, because I think even if it means having somebody, a linebacker shadow him,
okay.
Possibly. I don't know how Joe would feel about that philosophically, but maybe something like that, because I think they will dare him to make plays in the passing game, and I don't think he can do it. Last year's game was a real defensive war. Penn State won 13-6, and it was such a defense-dominated game, and really, I think it could be the same thing, because I don't think Pryor is going to be able to make the plays that Penn State is kind of going to dare him to do.
Just what's Ohio State's defense like? Should I be worried about these? They always seem to have good linebackers. Penn State's linebacker, but Ohio State's not far behind.
I don't know that Ohio State has like a first-team All-American type player, but they have a lot of athletes, a lot of speed. What I've seen of Ohio State, tremendous ability to cover sideline to sideline. They're going to be tough to deal with. I think they are I think they're the best team that Penn State's played so far. Definitely the best defense that they've played so far, and it could be another one like last year. That 13-6 battle. And again, this is a game that is going to a large degree, I think, determine how Darryl Clark is going to be remembered. It's kind of his legacy at Penn State.
Last thought, you mentioned there's a defensive player that said this is like a playoff for them. It's like a 3-game playoff. This game, and if they win this, really will determine where they go in the bowl picture, isn't it? This is a big factor.
It will have a lot to do with it. Now, of course, if they win out, they're going to a BCS game without question. But this is the biggest hurdle on that path for sure.